Eye opener. Fix America first. If American leaders can't resolve the problems with their own country, why are they trying to fix the problems in other countries? If American leaders are faced with growing homelessness, or unhousedness would be the new rebranded term, I guess, how can they solve any crisis in the Middle East? It's not like this country is simply trying to chew gum and walk at the same time. In that analogy, the chewing of gum is relevant to solving homelessness, and the walking is equivalent to solving issues in the Middle East. You know, because walking is harder than chewing gum and all. Maybe the references in my analogy should be reversed, because American leaders seem to be having as difficult of a time solving homelessness in America as they are having resolving any issues in the Middle East or anywhere for that matter. Doubt this? Then, by all means, please provide evidence of any country touched by American intervention in the last few decades that is better off for having caught the attention of the United States. As for the housing situation, our supposed leaders have allowed capitalism to run its course to the inevitable end stage of this failing economic system. There are a couple links below that I offer as proof of capitalism ruining housing in America, even what was once arguably some of the most affordable housing left in America. Far too many Americans are finding themselves on the streets these days, and the leaders they've chosen to represent them have come up with solutions that only a sadist would condone. Instances of such solutions are documented in clips below. And then there's the ways in which America has allowed vulture capitalists to lure people into financial ruin that only seems to exacerbate and compound the problems that an ever-growing number of Americans are and will face in the future. 1% down for a home that fewer people can actually afford. I did a post in this month, September of 2024, about these 1% loans being offered, but now the mortgage companies are offering 0% loans for potential suckers, home buyers. Links below. And then there's the increasing property taxes, 30 years assessments, homeowners insurance, and regular insurance that so many can't afford because of capitalism run amok. So that's how American leaders deal with sheltering their citizens and protecting them from obvious scams like no money down for a house you probably can't afford. How are America's best and brightest handling other necessities like food? Once again, America's leadership falls short as it has allowed tobacco companies to take charge of the food available to their constituents. Below is a link to a video in which a panel of doctors and nutritionists discuss how cigarette companies use the same marketing techniques to keep people addicted to unhealthy food as those techniques used to keep people addicted to cigarettes. In that clip, they also talk about how the terrible food offered today causes chronic illness and shorten American lifespans. Whether it's housing, food, or any of the other things like water purification, company buybacks, corporate tax loopholes, and more, America has not and is not taking care of its people. America has lost sight of the fact that a nation is a man-made construct that only exists as long as enough of its people believe it exists. History is replete with examples of civilizations that lost sight of this fact. Just Google the words, lists of former sovereign states. The future will be replete with nations that fail its citizenry. American leadership is currently failing to realize that it is the populace that makes a nation strong, not leaders who ignore the needs of their people. In 2018, Chris Osman wrote a book highlighting the problems humanity would face if more power, wealth, and control were funneled to a small cohort of individuals, groups, or organizations. In that book, Mr. Osman provided solutions, from himself and others, to the inevitable problems we would all face. In it, he also provided a means for the public to analyze, compare, and contrast the words and deeds of those we've chosen to follow against our real-world experiences. To this end, Mr. Osman provides the means for readers to disseminate information as provided by their news sources of choice, their elected officials, and any other authority they choose to follow. The book, titled Solutions, Enough Complaining. Let's Fix America, offers a means to hold leaders up to not just a higher standard than is currently accepted, but one that will improve lives. It's a dog-eat-dog world. Don't get eaten. Click the link below and get your copy today.